Hello everyone, myself Monica. I'm working as assistant professor in Triple department in St. Martin's Engineering College. Today I'm going to give a lecture on bridges in measurements. In this lecture, we are going to learn about what is bridge, why we are using bridges in this measurement subject, and what is the purpose to we need these bridges, how they are going to work on the which principle. So in this lecture we are going to learn about introduction, types of bridges and operations of bridges. Actually bridge is a electrical part of electrical system which connects or separates the circuits or branches. It works on the principle of null deflection. Null deflection means when the components of bridge are balanced, then the detector which one we are connecting to the bridge, that detector shows the zero value, means null deflection. And on this principle only the bridges are worked. So based on the electrical supply, we are having two types of supplies. One is alternating current and another one is direct current. Based on these two types of bridges, we are having two types of supplies. We are having two types of bridges. Those are alternating current bridges and direct current bridges. Direct current bridges are used to measure resistance only, and alternating current bridges are used to measure resistance, inductance, capacitance and also frequency. Why we are going to calculate these terms, why we are not having in DC bridges means, in DC system we are having no frequency. In alternating current only we are having frequency, because in AC system we are having frequency, it works on the based on the frequency. That is why here we are having inductance, capacitance and frequency. So based on the frequency, AC bridges are divided into four types. Those are Maxwell inductance, capacitance bridge, DSRT bridge and sharing bridges. Here Maxwell's inductance bridge is used to measure unknown inductance by using standard inductance value, and Maxwell's inductance capacitance bridge is used to measure unknown inductance capacitance value, and DSRT bridge is used to measure unknown capacitance value, and sharing bridge also used to measure unknown capacitance and resistor values. So here I am taking one bridge as the reference. See here I am drawing one bridge like this. This bridge having 4 nodes and 4 branches. 4 nodes and 4 branches, and these namely A, B, C, D. Here we are having 4 nodes and 4 branches, and these branches considering the impedances Z1, Z2, Z3 and Z4. For operating of this bridge, we have to give supply to the bridge circuit. For example, in DC bridges, we are connecting a battery to the bridge. For AC bridges, we are connecting a voltage source based on the frequency between the 2 nodes. That one is like this. Here also we are having 4 nodes A, B, C, D and having impedances Z1, Z2, Z3 and Z4. This is the basic diagram for DC bridge means direct current bridge, and here this is the basic diagram for AC means alternating current bridge. See here, one detector is connected in between the nodes of B and D, and also in AC bridges also we are connecting detector in between nodes of B and D. In case of DC bridges, we call it as galvanometer, and coming to AC bridges, it is called as detector. Why we are calling two types of names means here we didn't considering frequency. So, and we are giving only constant voltage, that is why it is named as a galvanometer, and this one is detector. When this bridge gets balanced, then this galvanometer shows the zero value, and then it's open circuited like this, and then it gets open circuited like this, means there is no current flow in this galvanometer. By this working principle only these bridges are worked. So let's see what is the general equation for bridges. I am taking one bridge, AC bridge, to form a general equation, means balance equation for the AC bridge. I am considering same four nodes A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. I am connecting supply to the A and C terminals, means in between the A and C nodes, and connecting detector in between the B and D nodes. I am considering it as Z1 and Z2 and Z3, and this one is taken as Z4. Here in case of DC bridges, Z1 is denoted as R. In case of AC, Z1 is R plus Jx. Why? Because in DC we are not having frequency, right? So that is why here reactance will get 0, means R plus J0. J0 means we will get only resistor. That is why the DC bridges are used to measure only resistance values, and AC bridges are used for to measure the unknown resistance and inductance, capacitance, and also frequency. This is the difference between AC and DC. Now I am going to derive an equation at balance condition. Here voltage is V. When I am applying the voltage to this bridge, we will get current flow through the branches like this, I1, and this one is I2, and this one is taken as I3, and this one is taken as I4. So when at balanced condition, detector gives zero deflection. Detector gives zero deflection, means it gets open circuited. It means open circuited. So then what will happen? See here, open circuit means it gets open. In open circuit, what is the current? Current will be 0. Current will be 0 in open circuit. In open circuit, current will be 0. So at this condition, what is the current flowing through the branches? See here, here we are considering a node, right? B. So here incoming current is what? Incoming current is I1. And here this branch gets opened, right? So there is no current flows through this branch. So then this current, whenever which amount of current we are getting at this branch, this total amount of current flows through this branch. Means here I1 is equals to the I3. At balance condition, what we are getting? The branch, the current flowing through the first branch is equals to the third branch. Next, from coming to this node, here also we are getting some current, right? That one is I2. So this I2 is incoming current for the node D. This current I2 is incoming current for the node D. Here also we are having this branch and this branch. At this branch, say here it gets opened, right? So there is no current in this branch. I is equals to 0. Then this total amount of current flows through the fourth branch. That one is, here current is denoted as I2, and in this branch current is denoted as I4. That is equals to I2 is equals to I4. Clear? Next, what is the voltage drop across the branches? We need to calculate the voltage drops also. So see here, at first branch we are having Z1 impedance, right? We are having Z1 impedance. At first branch we are having Z1 impedance and I1 is the current. So at this branch, how much voltage drop will be occurred? We need to find out that value. See here, at first branch, what is the, I am denoting it as E1, and this one as E2, and this one as E3, and this one as E4. What is the value for E1? E1 is equals to, from Ohm's law, we are not done the value from Ohm's law. From Ohm's law, we know that V equals to IR. It is used for DC. What about AC? In AC, V is equals to IZ. V equals to IZ. Why? Because here we are considering frequencies. So from this equation, I can write V equals to E1 and I is equals to, for first branch, E1 is equals to I1 Z1. For second branch, what is the voltage drop? E2. E2 equals to I2 Z2. So at balance condition, we know that what is that? E1 is equals to E2 and E3 equals to E4. At balance condition, E1 equals to E2 and E3 equals to E4. What is E1? Here E1 is equals to I1 Z1, that is equals to I2 Z2. What about E3? E3 is denoted as I3 Z3 and E4 is I4 Z4. From these two equations, we can write that I3 Z3 is equals to I4 Z4. Clear? For this, see here at balance condition, what is the equation for currents? I1 equals to I3, I2 equals to I4. We know that value, right? So substitute these I1 and I2 values in this equation. Then we will get I1 Z3, that is equals to I2 Z4. This one is taken as equation 2 and this one is taken as equation 1. By dividing equation 1 with equation 2, we will get, by divide equation 1 by equation 2, we will get I1 Z1 divided by I1 Z3, that is equals to I2 Z2 divided by I4 Z4. Here I4 equals to what? I2, right? So I am taking it as I2. See here, in numerator also we are having I1 and denominator also we are having I1. So I am going to cancel each other, I1 and I2. From this equation we will get Z1 by Z3, that is equals to Z2 by Z4. From this we can write by cross multiplying we will get Z1 Z4 is equals to Z2 Z3. This is the balance equation for the bridges. So now we are going to see Maxwell's inductance bridge. In this bridge, once observe this bridge, here also we are having 4 nodes that are named as A, B, C, D. And in between the A and B terminals, we are connected unknown resistance and unknown inductance named as R1, L1, and known resistance and known inductance are connected in between A and D, and in between D and C we are connected resistance R4, and in between B and C we are connected resistance R3. By using these known values, we have to measure unknown values of the R1 and L1 in this bridge. That is why we are using this bridge. In this bridge, we are going to calculate unknown resistance and inductance by known quantities, by using the known quantities. Say here in this inductors. Here, what is the balance equation for the for bridges? Z1 Z2 is equals to the Z1 Z4 is equals to the Z2 Z3, right? So here, what is the Z1 value? Z1 value is taken as R1 plus J omega L1, and Z2 is taken as R2 plus J omega L2. What is the Z3 and Z4 values? And Z3 is R3 and Z4 is R4. By substituting these impedance values Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 values in balance equation, we will get the unknown resistor and unknown inductor values. See how we are getting that. See here, these are the equations for unknown inductance and unknown resistance. Those are L1 equals to R3 into L2 by R4 and R1 is equals to R2 into R3 divided by R4. How we are getting these values? By substituting these impedance values in the balance equation, we are getting these unknown quantities. What we are doing here? We are measuring the unknown quantities by using known quantities. So, here we are having some advantages by using these bridges. These bridges are used to measure unknown quantities with knowing the by using the useful by using known values. These bridges are used for measuring the frequency of systems, and where we are getting undesirable signals. To detect that signals, we are using the bridges. Like that, in electrical and industrial purpose, we are using these bridges mainly. Here also we are having some limitations. In frequency depends, the balance condition can be affected by changes in frequency. In AC, AC means alternating current. In alternating current system, we are having frequency, right? So, by alternating means it's not constant, it's changing continuously. So, that is why here by changing the balance condition affects by changing the frequency in AC source. Accuracy. Accuracy depends on the precision of the components and the skill of the operator. Accuracy. How we are getting the accurate values for unknown quantities means we are getting accurate values by using the precision of the components, means component values must be accurate values. By using that accurate components only, we are getting the accurate unknown values. Limiting to low quality factor inductors. Quality factor, here quality factor is Q equals to omega L by R. What? Q equals to omega L by R. Here omega is angular frequency, that is 2 pi f, and L is inductance and R is resistance. By measuring the inductance and resistor values, after the measuring these values, we have to substitute in this quality factor formula. We are getting this value in the equation. So, for Maxwell's inductance bridge, this quality factor must be less than 10. For Maxwell's inductance and capacitance bridge, it must be greater than 10. So, these are the advantages and limitations for Maxwell's inductance bridge. Now, I am coming to the DC bridges. In DC bridges, we are going to measure only resistance. Why? Because already we discussed about that one. Why? Because means here frequency is not considered. That is why we have to measure only resistance values. So, these here in DC bridges we are having two types of bridges, Wheatstone and Kelvin's bridge. Next, in AC bridges, again these all are about DC bridges. Now, I am going to explain about Maxwell's inductance capacitance bridge. See here Maxwell's inductance bridge is connected as same like as the Maxwell inductance bridge. So, but here the branches means Z1 and Z2 are changed. See here, in Maxwell's inductance bridge, we have connected unknown resistor and inductor in first branch, and in Second branch we are also we are connected resistor and inductor in series. But here we are having resistor and capacitor in parallel in the fourth branch, and third branch only we are having resistor, and the second branch we are having only resistor. This is the difference between Maxwell's inductance and Maxwell's inductance and capacitance. In Maxwell's inductance and capacitance we are having resistor and capacitor in parallel and resistor and inductor in series in opposite branches. So see here Z1 is denoted as R1 plus J omega L, and Z2 is R2, and Z3 is R3, and Z4. See here we are having resistor and capacitor in parallel connection. Resistor and capacitor in parallel connection. So 1 by Z4, that is equals to 1 by R4 plus 1 by J omega C4. 1 by Z4 is equals to this one. After this, see here, these impedance values are substituted in balance equation. By substituting these impedance values in balance equation, we are getting the unknown resistor value and inductor value. Time up. Inka 3 minutes. So here we are substituting impedance values in the balance equation by calculating these calculations. By doing these calculations, we will get R1 by R2 is equals to R3 by R4, and J omega L imaginary parts. By equating imaginary parts, we will get L is equals to C for R2, R3. These are the unknown resistance and unknown inductance values for Maxwell's inductance capacitance bridge. So see here, these are the unknown resistor and unknown inductor values. Quality factor. Quality factor is equals to omega L by R1. Here we are having different values for inductor and resistor. By resistor and inductor values, by substituting these values in this equation, we will get the quality factor. Thank you.